WJBR HD3 Wilmington, W264BH Philadelphia. The new gospel music leader is Philly's favorite 100.7.
Great area. Great area. You are now tuned into the great area. Ain't black, ain't white, it's the great area.
Yo, that's my jam. Welcome to the gray area. I'm your host, Shari Nycole. I'm so happy to be hanging with you guys again on this Sunday evening. That's just my jam. You know, a lot of times I have to just go back in the gospel music catalog a little bit because I kind of go with how I feel. So sometimes a song may not be something that came out in 2020, but if it's something that makes me feel good, that I feel like will make you feel good, I go ahead and play it. So hope you guys are feeling great today. Hope you guys are feeling surrounded by love. Hope you guys are feeling the God in you. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the gray area, let me break it down for you really quick. In a world of extremes, taboos, and biases, it's often complicated to meet in the middle, or as I like to call it, the gray area. Now, the gray area is where topics we avoid but need to tackle exist, but they lay dormant. It's where people on both sides of an issue find understanding. The gray area is where we learn new things about others and ourselves. And I'm so very excited that you guys have decided to enter into the gray area with me. It's going to be a great show. I'm really also excited to be joined by two amazing guests. First off is activist and co-host of BET's Cop Watch, Shari Bates. Can't wait to talk to her. And then we'll follow that up with singer, actress, and social media sensation, and also my soror, Z-Fi, Lexi. So I'm super, super excited to talk to them both. And when we think about this being the year of the woman in Black Girl Magic, they are that personified. So very much looking forward to talking to them. I'm also hanging out with my Facebook family today just for a little while. They get the topics at the top of the show, and then they have to download that Philly's favorite app if they're not in Philly, you know, and listen to the show that way. But I try to give them the gift of just, you know, listening to the top of the show. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I want to get into a few hot topics that have been on my mind and heart today, one of which is today would have marked the 42nd birthday of Kobe Bean Bryant. And as a former basketball player, as an elite athlete myself, I often, you know, when I see photos of him now, when I look at posts and people post about him, I have to tell you, it hits me differently. I'm a Chicago girl. I'm from Chicago. So Michael Jordan is really my motivation. But you know, I looked at Kobe as this guy that I love to hate simply because I was such a Michael Jordan fan. And, you know, now that as his career continued to skyrocket, as I started to investigate more of his impact outside of the game, I grew a really deep respect for him. And so it's been such a loss not having him here. And it's also been a big lesson for me and hopefully all of us to really reflect on our own lives and what we are doing and what we have done and what we need to do. And so if nothing else, you should, I encourage everybody to take a little bit of time today as we reflect on what would have been Kobe Bryant's 42nd birthday and think about ways in which we can use the gifts that God has given us to serve others, to better ourselves, to elevate our lives and continue to do the work that God has given us to do. So happy 42nd birthday, Kobe Bean Bryant. Thank you for changing the world and inspiring so many of us. Wanted to move on to I love this guy. You know, we went to the same college, Northern Illinois University, and he's from Chicago, Todd Delaney. And I don't know if you guys have been keeping up, gospel artist. He's amazing. Loved his new EP, by the way. And he broke down a story of how he was arrested. Now, this actually happened about 4 months ago when everything kind of hit the fan. And, you know, there was a newspaper article that came out kind of trying to outline what happened. And he was explaining how the arrest occurred and just briefly, you know, he alleged that there was he was at an ATM and there was a gentleman that was rushing him who ultimately verbally attacked him. And then in response, verbally, Todd said, they got into a verbal spat. And from what Todd says, that's all that happened. But I encourage you guys to look it up and look up what happened. Todd lays it out. It's about a 13-minute video. But he does have to go to court and fight that. But what I wanted to go into more is I want to applaud Todd for his courage and his honesty. A lot of times we run into situations, especially public figures, and there's a way in which they have to kind of stay behind the scenes and let things play out. But Todd did not do that. He chose to stand in his manhood and also as a believer and say, hey, guys, you know, I got into a verbal altercation with somebody. I'm not happy about it. I'm not proud about it, but I want to be honest about it, because that's also what we're called to do as people of faith. We're called to be honest with one another and correct one another in love. So I want to give a big shout out and a cyber hug to my boy Todd Delaney. Hopefully I get him on the show soon. And thank you so much, man. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you so much. And I know that Todd stepping out and saying the things he said and telling his side of the story is something that could change someone's heart, or something that can encourage someone else to kind of have an honest moment with themselves or with their loved ones. So big ups to Todd Delaney. You have my full support, brother. I hope everything works out. You know, things happen. Things happen, guys, in all of our lives. And there are times when we slip up and we're not necessarily as righteous or holy as we want to be. It doesn't negate God's love for us. It doesn't negate our love for him. It just means we're human. So thank you, Todd, for having a human moment. I appreciate you. I send love to you and your family, and I pray that this gets resolved sooner than later. Once again, you guys can check that out. I was doing some research. I had to go on Google because I was looking at some different articles, and the Facebook post, it appeared, had been taken down where he explains this. But if you go on Google and look it up, you can see everything that happened. So big prayers, lots of prayers sent out to Todd Delaney. I also want to give a shout out to the Stellar Awards. I'm a big Stellar Awards fan. You know, I used to go to the Stellar Awards quite a bit back in the day. And, you know, because of COVID, it looks a little bit different this year. And they're doing it virtually, but I think they're doing an amazing job. And, you know, Corinne Hawthorne, Kirk Franklin, Jonathan McReynolds, I absolutely love all of them are hosting the show. It's actually on right now on BT. That doesn't mean that you stop listening to me, okay? That just means you set your DVR, or if you set your DVR, you wait until I'm done and you go watch it. But I'm really excited about the Stellar Awards continuing. As someone who has been in the entertainment industry for quite some time, you know, award season is always an exciting time, and it's always like a family reunion. And so thinking about the fact that, you know, our family reunion looks a little bit different, you know, it's a little bit heartbreaking, but to see the Stellar Awards push on, I'm so grateful to see that and encouraged by that, because the Stellar Awards mean a lot for the faith-based community. The gospel community. Is really important that, you know, gospel artists get an opportunity and a stage to shine, to still minister. And the way that they're doing it, from what I've seen, is impeccable. So I'm really, really excited about the Stellar Awards. And then if you guys don't catch it, shameless plug, BT, you don't have to pay me for this. There's an encore presentation that's coming on after Sunday Best. So BT has it all sold up. They got the Stellar Awards, then they got Sunday Best, and then they're re-airing the Stellar Awards. So make sure you guys check it out, see your favorite gospel artists. And I have Shar Bates coming up in a minute, but before then, I want to play a bop from Ty Tribbett. It's called We Gonna Be All Right. Take a listen. It's going to be all right, because I have a sister on the line who is making sure that it's going to be all right for our people. Her name's Shar Bates, co-host of BT's Cop Watch. And welcome into the Gray Area with Shari Nycole. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I want to first just thank you for your courage and all the amazing work that you are doing. It is not easy. It is not safe in many instances. It's scary to a lot of us, but it takes somebody to do the work that you're doing. So I just want to just really, really, really celebrate you for, you know, in this moment, and say thank you for your heart and for everything that you are doing on behalf of our people and fighting for racial justice and equality in this country. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. Wow, thank you so much. I definitely received that. It has definitely not been easy. So, but I know that this is my purpose. So it is what it is. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, Queen, and received that.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that you were recently on the front lines with Tamika Mallory and Portia Williams in Kentucky. This fight for Breonna Taylor is nothing short of, you know, I'm grateful that it's happening, but at the same time, I'm saddened that it is happening. What has this experience for justice, for her in particular, been like for you in recent months?
It's been surreal, honestly, because you would think that you're seeing something like this out of a movie with all of this evidence stacked up against them. I think the level of disrespect that I've seen, to see us treated this way at a peaceful protest after us just watching these people from the other side at the governor's house a week before, and not only taunting racist things, but that was actually a threat
Yeah.
That was a warning of a hate crime. They put a fake lynching. They did a lynching there of a black person. And I mean for no one to get arrested, and then for them to come back and like start changing laws. They told me, because I pulled up, late, and like I seen what they were about to do before they were even boxing them in, and they had an attitude with me because I called it out. Because that's what they do to us in Atlanta. They take over all of the side streets leading up to wherever they are, and they'll rope it off.
Wow.
And so they'll try to tow the cars around there and try to keep zeroing in closer, and then say that you're committing a violation to them. I said, what violation are they committing? I said, I see what y'all are doing. So y'all are about to start arresting. And when I'm like, you don't know that. I said, I do know that, actually. I said, y'all are about to start arresting. I said, I rode around the perimeter before I came here. I said, and I see how y'all have blocked off the streets. I said, so what crime are y'all saying that they committed? And they was like, well, they're obstructing a highway. I said, I don't see a highway. They said, well, this is a public highway. I said, so what you're saying is that you're altering the law, so you can say that they're committing a crime. Well, technically, any public access road can be considered a highway. I said, so it's only deemed a highway right now, though.
Wow.
So just, I mean, the level of blatant disrespect is unreal in 2020. But it's really, we in America with 3Ks.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, to even hear what you're saying, I think a lot of us will see things on the news. We'll see protests on the news, and we'll see, sometimes you'll see a tear gas. So you'll see protesters in the faces of police officers and the like, but we don't understand, or we don't get to see through the lens of someone like you who is seeing certain things like this happen. So it's really, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on is because I know you have a level of insight that many of us simply don't have, that we need to be aware of, because just like laws can be adjusted in that way, they can also be adjusted at any point. And we need to understand that as we move in the world. So I just find that to be absolutely unbelievable. I want to talk a little bit about the state of black women, and the current roles we have when it comes to the fight for racial justice and equality. I mean, you look at the civil rights movement, we've always kind of been the backbone of what's going on, not necessarily as visible as black men in certain instances, but we have been really the root, the backbone of how things advance and move forward. So what do you say now to the level of visibility that black women like yourself are really getting during this time? And where do you feel like the responsibility lies for us in this movement?
I mean, honestly, our responsibility is always, we're not doing any, first of all, black women, we're not doing anything new, okay? We are not doing we've been saving everybody. We've been having capes. They just wasn't giving us our flowers. The matriarch, I don't know about you, sis, but the matriarch has never been the males as far back as I can remember, not just in our community, but in all races community, from white to Chinese. Everybody's always been the women that pass on the traditions, that pass on, the recipes. We've been saving everybody. I'm happy that we are getting more recognition. I'm happy that we are not carrying this burden anymore on top of not getting our flowers, because that's hard. It's been very hard, but honestly, though, it more needs to happen. Look at what's happening to our young women. Even when you do turn around and protect a man, you still get slaughtered, and so we still have women we still have women defending R. Kelly, and men, So I think that it's time for us to just realize as women, we don't need anybody's praises. We've been enough.
Woo. You preaching now, sis. You preaching now. I was
I'm just saying.
that took me aback. I had to take a breath real quick before I lean back into the mic and ask my next question, because you're so right. And I was watching a little bit of the Stellar Awards before I jumped on air, and I was watching CeCe Winans, who did a beautiful tribute to the late great John Lewis, and I know that he had an impeccable impact and influence on your life. Can you speak to that a little bit?
I mean, honestly, I think that everybody should be inspired as someone starting their career off in, life commitment. in the movement when they were, 20 years old to turn around and still be fighting till literally some of his last breaths. I think that that's encouragement to everyone to know that it doesn't matter when you start. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter what happened to you before you got to that finish line. Just start. Just go. I think that we allow too many things like our age or our whether we're too young or too old or don't have enough money or this or that to hold us back from doing what was placed in our heart when God will provide. We just need to start. We gotta you gotta jump off a building without a parachute, y'all.
Yeah,
God got you. We be saying we got faith till it's time to have faith.
I was watching Pastor Stephen Furtick this morning. I absolutely think he's amazing, and he was talking kind of about that same concept. And he said what we need to understand is that oftentimes we can make as many plans as we want, but very very often God shows you that your plan is that's cool and all, but I'm going to do what I want to do for you and through you. And he talked about the importance of not necessarily trying to have everything together or have like certainty, but have confidence. And so that really speaks to your point. It's like, I can personally say, I'm somebody who tries to cross every T and dot every I. And in some instances, I miss opportunities to access what God has for me because I'm trying to make sure everything's so certain, as opposed to just having confidence in Him, like you just said. He's got you. So that's really all I need to move with, because moving under my uncertainty is that's not even the smart way to go. So that's a great point you just make. I wanted to talk about also the work that you're doing on Cop Watch and on BT. Why do you, first of all, kind of what led you to the show, and then as we're moving in critical times prior to COVID and now in this COVID-19 era with all of the instances of racial injustice that are right in our face now, why is a series like this so critical right now to have?
It's critical because it's a reality. And I need people to understand that this has been a reality. I know that it's more of an in your face it's closer to home than it's ever been now, but it ain't never been far, and it's never stopped. And I think it's important for people to. It's important for people to know it's not just you, and it's important for people to know it wasn't just that one time in band camp, and that they fight against us, and they have held us back in so many different ways for so long. Like, we have to think about the fact that they've been fighting against us from the movies to our music to, to our food. We get the last bottom of the barrel with the food, to the land. It's not as easy to grow. I mean, it's so deep. So I think that people need to know that it's not a game, and that it's more going on than what's entertaining that part of your spirit. And so we have to start preparing and be more proactive. We always with the GoFundMe's, you know what I'm saying? Like with the after the facts, you know what I'm saying? Like, cousin be clean, but cousin ain't have no life insurance policy, cuz.
Yeah, preach. Now you're trying to preach.
That's
because that is a real thing, and also we're not having those kinds of conversations in our homes, or like we're having amongst each other. Like, people kind of glaze over them, or they might even sneer and laugh like, okay girl, whatever. But like you said, when push comes to shove,
it's just
like it's a
COVID,
real thing.
Come on, y'all. We talking about, oh my gosh, it's affecting our community so bad. You really hog mugs, Look at what we be. Look at what is delicious, but I think we just have to learn to do it more in moderation. And we just got to learn. We can have our fun, but gluttonous. You can do whatever you want to do, but it's within you. When you turn it to a God, and when it turns into a gluttonous situation, is when it's wrong, and it's harming you, and you're not doing anything to detox or something. You're gonna eat some stuff you ain't supposed to be eating on Friday. Go ahead and hit that tea, on Sunday, sis. You know?
That's true. But two, part of the issue I think as well is we normalize a lot of these types of behaviors culturally,
Yeah,
and we don't have an understanding of what these habits or what these foods or drinks are really doing to us. So I think a lot of us walk around with dis-ease or disease in our body that we have absolutely no
Okay.
awareness of, because we're used to walking around not well, and we think nothing's wrong with us. And so then a virus comes and it exposes the dis-ease in our body. And like you said, you know, anybody that has any type of understanding of nutrition or fitness, health, and wellness, whatever, they're like, of course, duh. It's awful. It's terrible what's happening to our people. But it's also sadly not surprising. And I think having conversations like we're having and really getting together and saying, all right, bro, sis, let's watch what we're eating here. Like you said, let's do a detox tea. Let me, one of my friends, she took her cousin and her mother-in-law to Whole Foods and just racked up. She's got a degree in nutrition, racked up on vitamins for them, got them all types of great vitamins they needed. That is what we need to do for each other. That to me is cultural responsibility. It's accountability. It's looking out. And I think that we need to do more of those type of things, educate ourselves, and then be able to be resources for one another. So, because a lot of us don't know, and that's okay. Some people won't, but we got to have somebody that can bring you along and be like, hey, yeah, that's not cool. So,
well, sis, I'm just trying to do my part, and it's crazy that you say that because I literally just did a Heal the Block party in Atlanta, and we gave away immune boosters, which was healing teas that I did with a collaboration with another, my favorite herbalist, Amber Hassan. And we're just like, when I tell you it helps people so much, that we're literally about to start selling it this week, and we're donating a portion of the proceeds to my nonprofit to be able to distribute food and different things to the homeless. So you listen, okay, come through.
Yes, please. No, I'm serious.
There.
Send me any information so I can and you. That's fine. Send me some too, but let me know how I can help you and spread the word, because what you're doing is important work.
Much.
It's important. And I think that we also, we need to understand that we need to have more symbiotic instead of parasitic relationships. So you scratch my back, I scratch yours, not you giving me supplements and I'm just like, okay, thanks. And I go about my life and I turn up on the supplements and I don't share with others. I don't come help you out in some way. Like I really want to really have these symbiotic exchanges with people. So please let me know how I can serve or help you out or spread the word or whatever you need. And before I let you go, I want you to, if there's any last nuggets you want to drop on those listening, please feel free to do so and let everybody know how they can keep in touch with you and all the amazing things you're doing.
Well, you can keep in touch with me. I am Shar Bates on Instagram. I'm not really on Twitter like that. I am on Facebook. Charbeezy on Facebook, or you can go to, because I normally don't share my Facebook, but I've noticed I've been talking about some topics. People are like, we need to hear about this. So Charbeezy on Facebook, and my website charbase.com. But if I can share anything with y'all, I'm gonna share this. It doesn't matter your background, what you or the next person believe in, or how much money you make. I think that we can all do better if we just start treating each other as our brothers and sisters that look like us more, even because we be giving them smiles at church and stuff, but are you still giving those smiles and that same love and energy when you out in these streets? That's when we need to love and protect each other more. Thank you so much for having me. Philly, I love y'all. Y'all keep
shout out to
that
Philly.
Brotherly love. Okay. I'm repping I live in ATL, but I'm straight from Flint, Michigan, 810313.
Oh.
So thank you so much
and
for having me, Queen. You are amazing.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. And please let everybody know kind of, how they can keep up with Cop Watch as well. I want people to make sure that they're locked into the show and informed about what's going on out here.
You know what? Tell them to let BET know, because BET need to bring us back. That's what I'm going to do. Y'all let BET know that they need to bring back the police brutality show that they did last year, okay? They go ahead this year. Tell them bring it back. We need to see.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that. So guys, so for those who don't understand how TV works, like you can have a season, it's called green lighting. You'll get your season greenlit, which means it will happen. It might even be successful, and then all of a sudden it's over and it's like you go back to the network and you say, okay, and they're like, well, we don't know, or COVID happened and we're still examining it. We might do it at the top of the year. Or
we did our job. Since our ratings was amazing with no promotion, we still killed it. So y'all tell BET, you know what I'm saying, to keep it all the way real with our people and bring it on back around the corner. Anyway, I appreciate it. I'm honest at all times. I love you, sis. Thank you so much.
Love you too, Char. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And as always, I'm here. So thanks for hanging out in the gray area with me.
Thank you, sis. I'll be in touch.
All righty. All right, guys, that was Shar Bates. She's an activist and also the co-host of BT's Cop Watch, and also just an amazing sister doing some amazing things. So make sure you guys follow her. Up next, I have my soror, songstress, actress, supermom, social media sensation. Her name is Lexi, but before then, I want you to check out her single, There Is More. I'm trying to get from under the table because Lexi just took me out with There Is More. You guys have entered into the gray area. I'm your host Shari Nycole, and I'm so excited because on the line I have a singer, actress, social media sensation, super mom, and my soror, Z5, Lexi on the line. Lexi, what's going on?
What's up, soror? All is well?
Lexi, I should have brought tissue. I should have had it next to me for There Is More because you took me out of here. I had a tough time with that one.
Y'all just think that I just sit up here and tell jokes and stuff, but I can tap in when I want to. Amen. I can get a prayer too.
Ooh, your ministry, that anointing is real thick and strong. I really had to get myself together. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to talk to you. You look amazing. I've been following on social media as always, and I love the dance tap stuff you're doing, the exercise. First of all, Lexi, you look great. You're posting these pictures with your friend. I think it's your friend's fashion line. You are turning up. Okay.
Let
the people in.
Like you. I'm trying to be like you. Okay.
Let the people in, sis, on what this health and wellness journey has been for you, and why were you so compelled to share the highs and lows of it with everybody?
Well, I mean, it's for some of us. I've had a problem with my weight my entire life, and for some of us, unlike my cousin that I want to choke every day because she can eat whatever she wants and still have a six pack. I can't stand her. Other than that, there are those of us who have to fight like the Dickens to keep, to just fit in their clothes. I mean, it's not even about looking like J-Lo or Beyonce. It's just about I just want to get in the clothes that are in my own closet for crying out loud. And so it's one of those for me because I love to eat. Like Sunday dinner is my thing. Sunday's my favorite day. And I just got through having smothered oxtails that I made with gravy and rice and, fresh green beans. I like to eat. And I make a great lemon pound cake. So to offset that,
Lexi, I don't mean to interrupt you, but how can we arrange for you to send me some cakes? I love pound cake. To send me some slices or a whole cake.
Do you like lemon pound cake?
I love lemon pound cake.
I make the best lemon pound cake. People beg me. I've been bribed. People have robbed banks to pay me to send them some of my lemon pound cake. I have challenged David Mann, David and Kamala Mann. I've challenged them because they swear that they can make pound cakes, but I know it ain't as moist as mine. I use a pound of butter. A pound. Okay? I don't substitute. I use a pound of butter. That's why they call it pound cake. But I will send you some. I will do that.
Please. I will PayPal your Cash App, whatever we need to do. Please send me some.
We got to. Please. That's a done deal. It's a done deal. Consider it done. But yeah, so I just, and I just know that in our community, we're hit the worst. My mom's a doctor, and we're hit the hardest by high blood pressure and, diabetes and COVID has, just really ravaged us. And I just think it's important for us to do all that we can. Having my late husband pass at such a young age, I feel like if I don't take care of myself, that it's a slap in God's face for, allowing me to be here and have health, and then I don't do anything with it. I just feel like it's a disgrace. And so I make myself get up. I make myself do it.
And guys, it's a movement. It's like get rid of church fat. It's really a whole thing.
I just say stop church fat. Hashtag stop church
it.
fat. But I started a little group recently called Struggle Fitness. It's just a little Facebook group, and people can come on there and pay $5 membership. And the $5 is only for just for so you take it seriously. So you're not getting in the group just watching and looking. You pay $5, and so it'll make you log in and tell us what you're doing. What are you eating? Show me pictures. Or what did you do today to move your body? Stuff like that. So it's called Struggle Fitness. Yeah.
I love it. Make sure you guys check that out, because that's dope.
Yeah.
Lexi, you mentioned about your late husband, and you've been very open and transparent kind of about your journey or journeys in love. As a woman who continues to elevate and evolve, kind of where do you sit with love right now in your life?
I love, and my thing, and I hope I'm not somebody doesn't get like, oh my God, here she goes again. But everything I do revolves around God. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I know a lot of people that have given up on love. That's for other people, or there's not these guys out here they don't care, or either they're in jail, or they sleeping in their mama's basement, or they're gay, or a lot of people that I know have given up. And where I stand on it is I'm honestly, I believe that love is coming. For a minute, I believed that my late husband was all there was for me. Like, you get one chance at love, and that's it. But I don't believe that. I believe that God will. He knows the desires of your heart, and I believe that if you don't give up and you have faith, I believe that God will allow me to experience something great. God is never, ever, and those of you who are listening, listen to me, and this is in every aspect of your life, God is never out of options. Never. So I never want you to think that your job and where you are is all that you have, and where you are in your life, and maybe you've been through a divorce, or maybe you've experienced loss, and you think this is as good as it gets. God is never out of options. We may give up and settle for what we believe, but God is never out of options. Never. He can make a way, as the old folks used to say, he can make a way out of no way. God doesn't need a door. He'll create one. He doesn't need a window. He'll make one. So I just want you to, have faith. And that is the faith that I walk in every single day. It's not just talking. I don't just talk this. This is how I live. This is how I must live. Because if not, you'll lose hope. There's so many things around us that we look at that can really cause us every day to get up and be hopeless. Seriously, like, look around. It'll make you. If you look at politics, if you look at the struggle, if you look at the racial injustice, if you look at, the disease, if you look at what's going on, you can literally, if you concentrate on it long enough, it's something where you could wake up and just feel like, what the heck is going on in this world, and lose hope. But when I tell you that God is still in control, it looks like it's in chaos and mayhem, and it'll never, ever get better. But I am here to tell you that he is still sitting on the throne, and there's no one that can remove him. He is sovereign. I can't answer all the questions of why different things are happening, but I do know this. I've seen hard times before, and this ain't my first time at the rodeo. And when I tell you that he will bring you out and one day you'll smile again, I'm not joking. I thought I'd never smile again when my husband died. But somehow, I don't know how he did it, I was able to laugh again. I'm able to smile again. Is there a void? Absolutely. Will there always be one? Probably. But when I tell you, I thought that life was over. But when I tell you that God is not out of options, you keep believing, you keep holding on, and you keep knowing, today may suck, and maybe this ain't going good for me right here, but if I hold on, that's why I tell people suicide is not an option. It's not an option, because there's a greater day coming. And the enemy has tried to fool people to tell them this is as good as it gets. It's not getting any better than this. So what are you going to
Yeah.
do? You might as well take yourself out. You might as well da-da-da-da-da-da-da, or give up, or just be depressed. A lot of people are depressed, and they give in to that spirit that would overcome them and try to overtake them. Let me tell you something. You fight that spirit. You fight it with all that you have. You fight it because God is fighting and standing with you. Telling you it's already won. Depression is not an option. Suicide is not an option. And God is not out of options. It's going to get better. I promise you. How
Thank
did
you
I
for that.
evolve
That
with that?
bless-
You just asked me.
That,
You
let
asked
let
me
me tell
about
you
love.
something.
Wait a minute.
Hey, now I just go with the flow. You know, I'm just trying to walk in obedience. He's going to take us where he wants to take us. And, you know, I was having a conversation today with a couple of friends of mine, and we were talking about, you know, the Republican National Convention is coming up, starting tomorrow, and they were saying I can't watch that. I'm not taking any of that into my spirit. I need to have a strong, good week. I don't need to deal with any of that. And so my question to you is kind of how do you, I mean, we all, like you said, we all encounter difficulties and challenges and the like, but how do you kind of balance, you know, needing to be informed about things and balance kind of the things that happen in the world with also creating this bubble of peace around you so that you're still able to move in the way and have in the way that you need to and have a peace of mind to just be able to live, you know, a fruitful life. Because I think sometimes people struggle with that because we lean in towards what's salacious or negative sometimes and not realizing how much it really can affect us.
Yeah. And what I would say, you know, if those were my friends, I understand that. But at the same time, you do need to be knowledgeable. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, that's fine. That's cool. But you do need to be abreast of what's going on. And greater is he that's in you than he that is in the world, baby. If you don't want it to affect you, it can't affect you. That's like somebody doing voodoo on you. Listen, I don't give that any credibility. What's a girl? Somebody take a lock of your hair and put a spell on you. Child, greater is he that is in me. I ain't think about that. You talk about here's a piece of this weave hair right here. You take this and do whatever you want to with it. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't have to affect you if you don't want it to. You have the power. You're more powerful than you think. You have the power whether it's going to affect you or not. That thing don't have to get to you. It doesn't have to overtake you. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't. But you can watch it and not have a bad week. So you just spoke that thing. Don't speak that. You can do whatever you want to do. I promise you can. You're stronger than you think. God has made us stronger than that. The stuff that if I tell your friends, listen, you've been through hell and back. You can handle watching a little at the Republican convention. You can take that. Quit playing now. Stop. Want to hear that mess?
Well,
go on now.
One of the things that you play too much with is your social media. I literally have been to tears, literally on the floor at some of the things that you have posted. Just how has, you know, your social media, because I've watched it evolve. I just feel like it's something that is just continuing to blossom. How has this part of your creative spirit really anchored you as you've moved through? And then what are some fun things that we can expect as we move forward from Lexi's Instagram account and YouTube?
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I'm living life by the seat of my pants. I never know what I'm going to do. One day I'll sit there and I'll think about something and I'll start laughing. I'll be on one of my walks and something will pop in my mind. I say, oh my God. And I'll go home and I'll do it real quick and throw it up on Instagram. But then I'll go for weeks without posting something like that. I don't know. It just comes to me. I don't have a trajectory of where, you know, social media is just fun. It's fun for me. It's fun for me to watch other people. I don't have a agenda for it at all. At all. I just don't. I don't know how people do that. I just have fun because social media is not my life. Because of the things we just discussed, losing people that I love, social media is not my life and it's not my world. My world is appreciating people that I love and being, I know it sounds cliche, but being in the moment. I hate cliches.
But it's a real thing though. Like I struggle with it. It's a real thing.
No, it's a real thing. And I know how to put my phone down. And so that's why I say, you know, I don't have any plans for social media. I don't plan it out like that. And, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, what to expect. I don't know.
Well, I think that's the cool part about it, and it's interesting that you kind of just you ride the wave and you go with how you feel and what you're led to do, and it's essentially become a huge part of your brand with the way that you're doing it. So it's cool that you don't have to have that pressure on yourself, and it's also cool that your son. I just think he's hilarious.
He is a fool. Mm-hmm. A fool.
What is he back? Is he on campus? Like, how is his school situation happening? Because this is his first year of college, correct?
This is second year, and we were 4 days. Yep, we were packing and 4 days away from me taking him to school, and we just sat and thought about it, and was like, you know what? I'm not comfortable. You have asthma, and you don't have. It's not bad, but guess what? When you have the flu or a cold, your asthma cuts the fool. And so if you get there and you happen to catch that, I wouldn't even know how to deal with that. Why don't you stay home? How you feel about that? And he was like, I'm cool. I'm straight. It was literally a 5-minute conversation. I thought I was going to have to wrestle with him, and, it was going to be a thing. I thought he was tired of being home. Kids want to get back.
Right.
And he was like, no, I'm good. Like, whatever. And he's good. He could care less,
fantastic.
Actually.
Well,
yeah. But what are we going to do about this tuition cost since we can't be on campus? Now,
I was going to ask. That's another thing I was going to ask you. How is his school handling that? Are they just going to just charge like regular charges and not account for the fact that children are doing distance learning? I'm confused.
Baby, they're getting you with the banana in the tailpipe. The only thing that they're getting you a refund for is the dorm. That's it.
Wow.
They're not going to give you nothing else. They better come off that food. Amen. Come on, somebody. Y'all, the church is not saying amen.
Amen again.
They listen, they need to come off that food. They need to come off all of the things that they offered when we went for orientation over a year ago.
Yeah, those amenities, those really nice amenities.
Those amenities. We got a tutoring program if you need it. We got a writing lab. We got a math lab. We got a library. I can't access that, Saint. So what else gonna do? My God.
Say at least a third of the tuition costs need to be eradicated.
And you know what else they're doing? You know what they're doing? They're making it hard. I said, ask one of your counselors. Watch this. Ask one of your counselors if you could go to community college next semester so we could take that tuition down to a third, and can the credit transfer, since it's all online anyway. Oh, yeah, well, that's going to mess with your scholarships that you got. That's going to mess with your Pell Grant. It's a thing now. And I saw it on CNN that it's a thing where they're trying to dissuade people from going to community college and getting that discount. Because kids are thinking like I'm thinking. And so they're blocking it. Yeah, and they call it something. It's a name that they actually call it, where they're blocking you from going to another institution.
That's unbelievable. I'm definitely going to look into that. I haven't seen that, but I don't doubt what you're saying for a second. I think that's nuts, Lexi. That's crazy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And as a single parent,
all the saints,
I need
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
As a single parent, I need all the breaks I can get for college tuition. When I went, I had to pay that student loan back. My God, today. And so I know I'm trying to save every dime when it comes to my son's tuition, because that's my gift to him. You're not going to come out with student loans like I did. This is my gift. I'm going to pay for it. And let's just get through this. So my brother, you got 4 years, huh? 4 and no more. That's what you got. You can't do it like your mom. Your mom partied, huh? Your mom played. She was the first one at the party, pastor's kid, first one at the party, and the last one to leave. Amen. It took me 5 years to graduate. Amen.
My God. My God.
You got 4 and no more, huh? Thank you.
Well, you have some amazing music, Lexi. I just love your voice. I think you're amazing. Kind of where are you right now musically, and how have you kind of maneuvered musically through all this stuff that's going on? Because it's not like you can do concerts or things of that nature. So how are you kind of working through that?
Wow, it's a blow to all of us, gospel artists and artists, period. I heard that Erykah Badu said, she's not used to this. She don't know what to do. She's used to being on the road. She don't ain't never been home this long. Her and Jill Scott, when they had their verses, both of them were talking about, I've never been home this long. But, you know, it's cut into everybody's money. And for gospel artists, Easter is our biggest day, and, you know, Easter and, you know, all of that. So it cuts into our money. But I understand that it is, like Michelle Obama said, it is what it is. There's not, what can we do?
Yeah.
But where I am musically, I'm coming out with a project. Hopefully later this year. We're in negotiations now, trying to get some of my older music released. I was on Evander Holyfield's label back in the day. Yeah. And so we're just getting in touch with Evander and just trying to get that released. So he's excited, and we, you know, just trying to do the numbers right now.
That's amazing. That's dope.
Ma'am.
I didn't even know Evander Holyfield had a whole setup like that.
He had a whole setup back in the day, and I did 3 albums with him. This was back in like 2000, and there was this album that everybody loves, and so many artists hit me up and say, "Would you ever put that out?" Because, you know, the people that worked for Evander, he was a boxer. He didn't know who to hire exactly. Mm-hmm. He openly admits that, and so it never got out. The marketing never got out, but it was a great album. And so I'm just going back and getting that old material that, you know, a lot of people didn't hear. Some did, but it didn't get released like it should. And so now we got iTunes, we got Spotify, we got, you know, everything. So, yeah, we're just doing the numbers and going to release that. And this is good material. It's still bomb today. So that's what we're working on.
I love it. I love it. So Lexi, what habits have you picked up, good or bad, during this quarantine era? Something that you weren't doing before COVID that you're doing now.
That I wasn't doing. I wasn't working out as much. I was always working out, but I hadn't taken it to this level. I'm using the more time that I have to burn more calories. So that's been a challenge that I'm doing. Also, I started taking makeup seriously. fell back in love with makeup.
Oh, you're lit on the makeup side. You're lit.
Talk to me, huh? I'm not playing with y'all. Let this world open up again. Here, let this world open up again. I'm gonna show y'all something y'all ain't never seen the likes of me. I've been playing in this makeup and been learning new techniques. Baby, I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I have started my own makeup company. It's called I Am Cosmetics, EYE. I Am Cosmetics, and it's coming out in October.
I love it. Well, Lexi, I love you. I think you're amazing. As I close it on out, let the people know how they can stay in contact with you.
Hit me up on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Lexi Television, the whole word, Lexi Television. Lexi Television, hit me up, and you can stay in touch with me that way. And you can go on YouTube if you want to laugh a little bit. I got some skits on there, some old skits, Ghetto Bewitched. I used to love Bewitched. But I got a couple Ghetto Bewitched episodes and just some fun family stuff. And just go on there. It's Lexi Television on YouTube.
Great. Lexi, thank you so much. I'm going to have you back. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you all so much for hanging out in the gray area with me. I'm Shari Nycole. I'll talk to you guys on next Sunday. Appreciate you all. Have a great night and a great week.
All right.
Great area. Great area.